morning, champions. Happy Thursday morning. If you are fired up because James remembered to allow everyone to mute themselves this morning, and because today is going to be the best day in the history of SLS, make yourselves off of mute and make a little bit of noise.
Woo!
Yes, let's go.
Let's go. Let's get it.
Yes.
That was
Hallelujah.
so much better than yesterday morning when I had everybody muted and I just stared at myself for a second. Great job, everybody
Let's
there.
go.
All right. A couple quick announcements before we get started here, as we do every single morning. If you are brand new and this is your first time joining us, we hope you like what you see. And if you do, get back in touch with the person that invited you here. And if you are in the process of onboarding, our breakout rooms, they're open. They're ready to rock. That's what makes us so special. We've got the best home office team. Most people don't even have a home office team, but we have the best home office team in the world. And they're already here.
Woohoo,
So you
home
can
team.
Exactly, Greg. So you can jump into the onboarding and licensing breakout room. They'll make sure that all your I's are dotted, your T's are crossed as far as your contracting goes. And then the new agent setup room is there as well if you need help with SLS Connects portals, different things like that. If you are an SLS Sales Academy, you've already got all that, then hang out here with us. Then you'll go to your team breakout room where you'll have a huddle there. And then around 9 o'clock, the Sales Academy will get off and running. So without further ado, we've got to celebrate the day that was. And we begin with team production. So we start with the House of Diamonds at 12,233 AP on the day yesterday. We had the Cook Crusaders cooking up 13,018 AP. Region of Steel, bounce back day yesterday. Great job, Region of Steel. 13,693 AP. We had and Eric, I don't know when you sleep. Thanks for the early email. Appreciate you, sir. And then the wild cards, 24,390. And then the Banksters
Go
coming in
Bankers.
top spot. I'm hoping TMP gives me the laugh. 28,450 AP. Great job.
Great job.
There it is.
Great job, Banksters.
Great job, Bankster.
No offense, wild cards, but I do like getting that laugh out of TMP. All right. Then we move to the PPA category, pound for pound. If all the teams were even, what would it look like? And we had House of Diamonds, 200 on the PPA. We had the Wild Cards, but they'll bounce back today, but 364. We had the Cook Crusaders at 433, and then two outstanding performances. We had the Banksters at 711. Always used to make me laugh as a kid. 711 PPA. Great job, Banksters. But taking home the pound for pound belt for the day is the Region of Steel, 978.
Go.
Let's
All right,
go.
really.
Good job,
Really.
Region of
Way to
Steel.
go, y'all.
Great job there. Then we move to talk time. You guys are going to hear me say it every single day. Why? Because you know me. I love consistency in all things. Walking, dieting, family, exercise, faith, and talk time. You got to do it every single day, not just when you feel like it. So if you did over 5 hours yesterday, pat yourselves on the back. Give yourself a good job. You've got to be consistent with it day in and day out, and I promise you the results will come. But we celebrate those that exceeded expectations and had a high talk time day yesterday. So special shout outs go to the following. My brain wants to say it my way, but I will say it the right way. James, Witty Gritty, kicks us off. 6 hours, 1 minute. Way to go, James.
Way to go, Jamie.
JW, as they often call me. Galalia Hernandez. Gam came in 6 hours, 1 minute. Let's go, Gam. Great day there. Alex Echek King Johnson came in 6 hours, 1 minute. David Medina, 6 hours, 2 minutes.
Funky Cole Medina.
Max Miller coming in 6 hours, 4 minutes. Donna Stowers coming in 6 hours, 6 minutes. Great job. Donna Tremaine Reeves, 6 hours, 6 minutes.
Treasure Trey.
We had Ray Sean Cochran coming in 6 hours, 7 minutes. We got Karen Garrett, 6 hours, 9 minutes. We got Chris Reese, 6 hours, 25 minutes. Jamie McBroom, 6 hours, 52 minutes. And then we had quite a few exceptional performances going over. Excuse
Mm.
me. Oh, my kids
God
got me.
Bless
bless you, man.
you.
God bless.
My kids, they gave me something. The sniffles on the kids, they get you. Anyways, NEORC, I'm here. Wendy Epstein had 7 hours. Way to go,
Way to
Wendy.
go, homie.
Good job, Wendy.
Nikita Bangero had 7 hours, 10 minutes.
Let's
Way to go.
go, Nikita.
Emma Daniel, 7 hours, 12 minutes. Great job, Emma. We had Stephanie Moore, 7 hours, 42 minutes. But we had one outstanding performance. Makes me happy to say sometimes the OGs got to come out and some of the kids in the office were making fun of me. And yeah, I said kids because I used the term whippersnapper. But Dee Dee would say, you young whippersnappers don't know. Dee Dee Brown coming in 8 hours and 5 minutes, having herself a day yesterday. Great
Way to go, Miss
job,
Dee Dee.
Dee Dee. Fantastic job to all that had talk time yesterday. But now we get to the real leaderboard, the AP leaderboard. Now, if you had 5 hours, pat yourselves on the back. If you had a sale, pat yourselves on the back. If you had both, great job. If you had over 1,000 AP, even better job. But we highlight those that did string in a day. SAD, anything but sad for the following individuals. And we get started with Aaron Balderrama coming in 2,502 AP. Way to go, AB.
Ballin'.
AP.
Good job, Aaron.
Miguel Orozco coming in. Miguel had 5 hours, 2,570 AP.
Goldie,
And as
Goldie.
Roy likes me to
Job.
mention, 100% he checks Social Security billing. Let's go, Miguel. Great job. Stephanie Moore, you guys already heard that name once. Why? 7 hours, 42 minutes. That resulted in 2,571 AP. Great
Good
job,
job,
Stephanie.
Stephanie.
Ray Sean Cochran, 6 hours, 7 minutes for Ray Sean, 2,673 AP. Sean's having a week,
Let's
6,000,
go.
over
Way to go,
6,500.
Rashawn.
And all 6,500 of that is e-check Social Security billing.
We
Great
on the mission.
job. Deborah Barth coming in 2,758 AP. Way to go. Almost 4K in the week, too. Great job. Max Miller. Max is keeping his foot on the gas. 6 hours, 4 minutes,
Brum,
2,787
brum.
AP for Max. Max
Brum,
is
brum.
Good job, Max.
for the day.
Maximilian.
Great job, Max. Then we had Dominica Flores coming in over 5 hours, 3,252 AP on the day.
Way to
Great
go, Miss
job
Flores.
there. Then we had Haskell Sabine coming in 3,377 AP. 100% of Haskell's was
That
e-check
rascal Haskell.
Good job,
Social Security.
Haskell.
Then we had Loretta Buell coming in 4,569 for Loretta. Loretta is over 6,800 on the week. Great
All right, Loretta.
job
Way
there.
to go.
But ladies and gents, there can only be one champion. The talk time is there every single day. So you know it's going to happen. That is why I preach consistency. So it brings me great pleasure to say that the following individual had 6 hours of talk time, 5,132 AP on the day, over 7,200 so far for the week, over 80% e-check Social Security billing. Take yourselves off of mute. Make a little bit of noise for your agent of the day, Monica Henderson.
Money,
Way to go,
money.
Good job,
Monica!
Monica.
Miss
Way to
LA
go.
Way to go, Monica.
with that
Great
talk
job,
time,
Monica.
girl. Good
Yay,
Lord have
Monica.
mercy.
Good.
Do, 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 do.
Monica had a lot of cheerleaders there. Way to go, Monica. Monica, I don't know if you are driving at the moment. I know sometimes you're on the call, but if you can, come off the mute and share a little bit about your day. We'd love to hear from you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. To God be the glory. I didn't really know you could do this, but I had a gentleman back in December where, when I first started, I had his wrong date of birth. and I've been trying to reach him for like almost 3 months. I even sent him the AMM, needed to correct the date and get his signature. I even sent it to him certified mail. I just couldn't get him. Call him. And then yesterday I said, let me look at my lost business. And so I sent everyone a text message and I, called them. Some people I left a voicemail. I had 3 people to call back and 2 people to text me back. So I was able to get him back on the books. And, I helped him. And then I had 2 other people that reached out to me and I had another person. She couldn't do it until she had the money today, but you know how if the payment goes through, on if she changes the payment and it goes through, it's going to mess it up. So they just said call back, have her call back on Friday. So I was very amazed that that was able to be done. So that's what helped me, the lost business. So thank you so much. Praise Yahweh.
Praise the Lord. Good
Great
job, girl.
job,
Hey,
Monica.
James,
Michelle.
James, can I hop in for a second? My
Yes, sir.
report shows in the
There was an adjustment we made this morning.
oh, okay, got you.
Yep.
Step ahead of me, love it.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Eric. That's why I gave Eric a shout out. So, anyways, just wanted to piggyback on that a minute before, and I'm sure Henry will too, but I'll tell you guys a quick little story here. We've been talking about this a lot. I won't even get into the wings and the feathers and the buffets and all this stuff because I keep messing that up. At least Max laughs at me. But I had to learn what Monica just said the hard way too. It was so hard for me to understand that until and you guys have heard my story about the termites, and if you haven't, I'll tell it another day. I'm not going to tell it today, but if you've been in sales long enough, you will catch yourself doing what our clients do, right? And you guys know, like we always have this story. You walk into rooms to go, and the only reason anyone goes, someone one day is going to say they go to rooms to go just for fun on a Saturday to test out recliners, but nobody does that, right? You go to the furniture store, why? To buy furniture. Yet when you walk into a mattress store, a furniture store, whatever, all of us say the exact same visceral reaction, which is I'm just looking. Why? Because there's a sales pressure type situation there. And so I remember long before we had CRMs and appointment setting and tracking, Ray and I, we were sitting in this tiny little office. Roy remembers, I think, it used to be like a storage room, and we had 2 little desks crammed in there, and I had a file cabinet, and the file cabinet had my little follow-up. So my appointments were folders, and I had a daily follow-up folder. And I would call these people 3 times a day, like Monica said, for months. Months, right? And they would know I'm calling. They would avoid my call. They would do whatever. And it would be so often that somebody would answer months later, and the words that would come out of their mouth would be, I am so glad you finally called me. I thought you forgot about me. And my instant reaction wants to be like, what are you talking about, Miss Jones? I've been calling you 3 times a day for 3 months, right? But it is their way of like de-arming the conversation because they know they've been avoiding you. They know they need this. They know they've been putting it off. But again, it's a financial investment that they have to make. And insurance is so unique, right? Because money exchanges hands when there's something there. So if you like that pair of shoes, you are going to hand over money and you immediately get the shoes, instant gratification. But with insurance, you are giving money every single month. And the only time you see an ROI is when you're no longer here, right? And so that's a weird mental connection to make, which is why it's so important that we find the need. And the need 99% of the time is love, right? And so when it's love and they connect that with their family, it's important. But life happens, and then they get nervous, and they don't want to do it again. So the fortune and the follow-up is so important to stay on top of them, to do those things, to send texts. And when it comes to lost business, a lot of times they start looking at us like a bill collector because they think they owe 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. Sometimes they think, oh, I got to pay, instead of $50, I got to pay $200. And so there's always that line to be able to say, Miss Jones, you don't owe anything today. In fact, I can do you a favor, right? And you become their friend again because you can help them and make them realize they don't have to pay anything as long as their health hasn't changed. Even when you've got the ability to do reinstate by redates, which is going to help your quality number and all that. So friendly reminder, fortune to follow up. Don't give up on these people. We want to do a one call close, but sometimes I'm not pushing somebody out 30 days, right? I'm going to call them every single day, multiple times a day. I'm going to text them. I'm going to do whatever until they tell me, please don't call me anymore. Or more often than not, they just magically answer and say, James, I'm so glad you called. I thought you forgot about me. And I have heard that line hundreds of times because that sometimes is our client's mindset. So great job, Monica. Great job, everybody. Just wanted to give that friendly reminder. The same thing goes for leads, right? Sometimes they just don't answer for a couple days, couple weeks, and all of a sudden they answer, and it's the right time, it's the right day, and you're the right person. And you want to be the last person they talk to about insurance, not the next person. So that's my little spiel. But I know Henry's got some special stuff planned for you. So without further ado, the louder you get, the more excited he gets. Take yourselves off of mute, make a little bit of noise, and welcome to the stage, Henry.
Welcome, Henry.
Welcome,
Good morning, Henry.
Henry.
All right, all right. Good morning, Mr. Stewart.
Good morning. I'm going to give you one more chance to make some noise if you're excited because today is the biggest day of your life. It's for sale.
Biggest
Go!
day ever.
Go, Dave
Go.
Whitley.
Today's message will be short and sweet because I'm going to give you some time to hang out with your teams and huddles and decide how you are going to take over the world. You may even get a visit from James or myself at your meetings. Who knows? But I want to describe something called sustained effort. Yesterday was a really good start to the day. Matter of fact, you all deserve commendation. You got out to a nice, strong start, but then things slowed down just a little bit, which is why we want to talk about sustained effort. In order to have a great check, you need great weeks of sales. In order to have great weeks of sales, you got to have great days. In order to have great days, you got to start and you got to finish. One of the things that is so hard to do sometimes as salespeople is to have a sustained effort, particularly if you have a strong start to your day or a strong start to your week. So the same trap works both ways. You come out, you have a sale before noon, as an example, and you're like, oh boy, I've got a head start. I got $2,000 AP. It's not even noon yet. I'm probably going to write $10,000 worth of annualized premium today. It was a great time for a break. I've gotten ahead, so I've bought myself some time to chill. Same trap that we have with the week. Oh man, I got $5,000 of AP by Tuesday. Whew, I bought myself some cushion. I bought myself some space. Now it's time to relax and cruise into my $20,000 week. You want to have a sustained effort. James talked about consistency. You want the same behaviors regardless of the result. If you are working and you come out to a record-setting start, you still want that consistent effort. If you come out and you're like, whoop, this week is gonna be rough because I haven't had a sale yet today, you still want that consistent effort. Because that sustained, that maintained consistency, that sustained effort, that's what prevents the roller coaster in your check. If you ever feel like, man, I love every single thing about SLS. I just wish I knew how much I was going to make each week. If you've ever said that, you're not making a sustained effort. Because when you have a sustained effort, you do know what you're going to make every week, right? The agency has a PPA, premium per agent. That premium per agent generates approximately the same amount of premium every single week. And you are a microcosm of that, right? You are a microcosm of that. So if you start today, if you get off of the phone or get off of this Zoom, out of this room, I should say, over into the breakout room of your huddle, you guys talk about whatever you're talking about, and then you jump on the phones, you start dialing, and if you dial the right way, who knows the right way to dial?
3 times.
There you go. You got a triple dial. And what about your pace? Should you lollygag, as the expression goes? Should you have a lollygagging approach?
No lollygagging.
No
No
lollygagging.
lollygagging or
Dial fast.
shenanigans. There you go. Either progressive dialer or take the choice away from you. You're like, well, sometimes it's better just to let the computer do it because then you're forced to move at a better pace. Or if you're not going to do that, you dial fast, then you slow down when what?
When someone answers.
When somebody answers, you
Yes.
slow down, downshift, when somebody answers, and then you maximize that engagement. You do everything you can to make something positive happen when there's a voice on the other end of the line. And if you do that all day long, you're going to be successful. Now, sometimes the person says, well, what is all day long? Well, Henry, what do you consider all day long? And that answer is different for each and every one of you because your day is dictated by your bank account. Your day is dictated by your bank account. If you need $2,000 a week, your day ends when you have made some money. And it might not be able to be a $1,000 Gerber sale because if you need $2,000 a week, then you want to try to make at least $500 a day in commission, right? You need 2,000 a week, but Henry, 500 times 5 is 2,500. Yes, but cancellations happen. And also, too, you want to shoot for the moon, land on a star. So if you need $2,000 a week, then you want to aim for making at least $500 a day. And then leave some room to have some extra cash generated on Saturday if you so choose. So that means that if you need to make $2,000 a week and you need to make at least $500 a day, that means that you're not looking at your day in terms of talk time and premium. You're looking at your day in terms of PECs and commission. Now, who knows what that means? You don't.
How many PECs you actually get through, not how many people you talk to, how many times you actually go through the full PEC and pitch and go through the whole thing.
Exactly. If you need to make $2,000 a week and you have 7 hours of talk time and $5,000 of annualized premium on a Monday, but you only made 100 hours of commission because some of that was Gerber and some of that was Direct Express. Have you hit your goal? No. You're looking. You hit your. You're agent of the day. Maybe you got to talk. Maybe you got your name mentioned by James. Hey, good job. But have you hit your financial goals? No. So what you need to be looking at is how many PECs do you do? Because if you do enough PECs, then of course you're going to have high talk time. And then you need to look at how much money you made, because 9 times out of 10, if you're making the money that you need to make, then the amount of AP that you write comes along for the ride. So don't forget that. Don't forget that today. Today, think about, okay, great job. Let me sell whatever is in the best interest of the client. So I'm not saying sell something bad to the client so you can make money. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying once you sell whatever you've sold to your client, whatever's in their best interest, calculate how much money you made from that sale. If they only qualify for Gerber or Sika or what, great. But calculate how much money you made, because that's what's going to determine how long your day needs to be. If it's 7 o'clock at night and you needed to make $500 of commission and you made 7, you can call it a day. If it's 7 o'clock at night and you got $3,000 of AP, but you only made $100 and you need to make another 4 or 5, it's not time to call it a day yet. Thank goodness on a day like that, you can call till 9 p.m. in your local area, or if you've got some Mountain Standard Time or West Coast states, thank goodness you can take your day up to midnight if you need to in order to make the money that you need to make that day. Does it make sense, everybody? So sustained effort. You need to jump on the phones and make a sustained effort, keeping your eye on how many times have you done a complete explanation of our program from beginning to end, explaining all the features and benefits and receiving an answer to your offer of insurance, an answer of yes or no, in the presence of all relevant decision makers, and including your request for referrals. How many times can you do that every single day? And then when you do that, how much money have you made? And then when you hit your financial target, not AP goal. AP doesn't pay bills. AP looks good on newsletters. AP can help you win trips and contests, but AP alone doesn't pay bills. Commission pays bills. So what did I write? How much did I get paid? And then base your day around that. Doing that many times will automatically adjust your pace, because instead of being seduced by the AP, ooh, it's 3 o'clock and I've got 3,000 AP so far. That's great. How much money was the Social Security billing? Was it AMM? Was it Transamerica? Many times looking at what you've made is a motivator to keep going, and to keep going at a pace that makes sense, so that you don't find your day stalling the longer you're calling. What should be happening is you should be moving at a consistent pace, a fast and consistent pace all throughout your day, only slowing down to maximize the engagements when you get a client on the phone. Who thinks they can have a sustained effort today? Make some noise.
Sam Huber can.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do it.
I'm in it to win it.
Who thinks they can get 6 PECs today? Make some noise.
It's
My
my
goal
goal.
says
Yes,
It's
sir.
my goal.
Do it.
Oh.
6 PECs coming your way, sir.
Who thinks they can make at least $500 in commission today? AP is going to be whatever it is.
Yes,
Who thinks they can make
sir.
that?
I can do it.
Definitely.
I believe.
I do. I do.
Well, it's time to go to your huddles and come up with your plan of attack. And James and I probably can't get to everybody, but we're going to try to make our way and come visit. I'll be here directing traffic for those that are here for the first time. James will be roaming the halls, as the expression goes, but don't be surprised if you see one of us or both of us pop our heads into your meetings. Right now, the rep is calling to remind you to make excuses. All results count. I say the more believe, the more you sell. It's time to say no excuses. All results count as loud as you can in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
No
excuses.
excuses.
Only
Oh,
results.
no.
Hey, Rory.
Excuses,
Thank you,
only
James.
Go.
Thank you, Mr. Henry.
No
Let's go, y'all.
excuses. No
Amen. Dial
results.
Home
fast.
team.
Let's go.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Have a good day, Miss
Great
KG.
day.
Welcome.
Great day, everyone.
Working that lost business support. That's smart.
Let's get it home. Let's do it.
If you're here for the very first time and you're like, hey, this meeting's pretty cool. Sure wish I knew where I'm supposed to go now. Hang out with me and I'll give you some direction. Is there anyone here